guys talked to players this week, correct?
Yep.
Anything that stands out beyond the typical coach speak / player speak?
Well, the thing is, we were inundated with players, so trying to process everything that was said and what stood out. Definitely players sticking up for Jackson Smith and Jigba. Emeka Ibuka said he's the hardest working guy he's ever seen, that sort of thing. So if he could play, he would be playing. And Ryan Day said the same thing. Nobody wants to be playing more than Jackson Smith and Jigba. So that narrative, I think Ohio State is trying to kind of nip it in the bud that, yeah, I understand what NFL scouts are saying, but NFL scouts are the most cynical people on earth. So they're going to paint everything negatively. So there is that. But, talking about that, obviously a bunch of questions about Michigan, just defensive breakdowns, more than anything, fixable problems, that sort of thing. I don't know if you guys came across anything else that struck you.
Yeah, I wanted to share that after it was all done, I talked to our friend Bill Kennesaw Man Mountain Landis from, I guess he's now at the rival site here in Columbus at Ohio State. And I said, Bill, did you come across anybody in your interviews who sounded like they wanted to play in this game? And he said, Mayan Williams wants to play in this game. I thought, well, that's a start. We found somebody who is excited about playing this game. It was very telling also that I didn't hear the answer, but the very first question to the Rocket Man, Ronnie Hickman, who had declared previously that he was leaving Ohio State after this season, going to the NFL. And of course, after they lost to Michigan, it appeared that, they'd probably be in a Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, and he'd probably opt out and get ready for the draft. That Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch asked him first question out of the box, Ronnie, you probably thought your college career was over. And, you got another, at least one more game to play. And, asked him about how difficult it was to, quote, opt back in, end quote. And, to me, those are very real questions. As I think we've touched on in a couple shows here, I had 6 or 7 guys who probably wouldn't have played in a bowl game. Stroud, Zach Harrison, Paris Johnson, probably DeJuan Jones, maybe Matthew Jones. I mean, there could have been 6, 7, 8 guys who Eichenberg, if he's not coming back. So Teron Vincent, whatever. So there could have been a number of guys who are going to skip a bowl game. I'm doing my bowl picks right now, and it's kind of astounding. Cincinnati's got 4 guys who have opted out of the bowl game. I know they're playing Louisville at Fenway Park next week. No big deal, but it is a real thing. And for these Ohio State guys, it was definitely a real thing. And what's their mindset? Are they going to be fully invested in this? Hard to believe that all 7 or 8 guys are going to be fully invested in this. It's just human nature. And this is 2022, and everybody's looking out for number 1 right now and not really worrying about winning one for Old State U. So I know that that's blasphemy in the eyes of Ben and Becky Buckeye fan from Bexley, but it is it's where we're at. It's 2022, and it's a business decision for all these guys, and that's kind of the lay of the land right now. So I want to see how serious these guys really are. I'm going to sift through a lot of the comments and try and identify if I can. There were people. Somebody posted a comment on Twitter, and maybe from Julian Fleming, that the guys are working hard and we got nothing to lose, is what Julian Fleming said. And one of the cynics on Twitter was like, I heard that before the Michigan game. So there's really a Missouri, you got to show me, thing going on here right now, because fans aren't buying it. They're going to be cautious before they get behind this team full bore, I think.
Well, I will say that, there's a how things should be and how things will be. And, maybe how things will be is whether or not guys can get, fully engaged and everything else. But, this is the type of situation you win one, you win a national championship, and that's 2 wins. That's not 1 win. That's not just this Georgia game. You get to go and own car dealerships and everything else and live forever. And we know that NFL careers are short lived, and some of these guys probably will not get much of an opportunity getting, fifth round pick or whatever, and make a couple bucks in the league. But you live forever in Columbus if you're a national champion. You live forever in the state of Ohio if you're a national champion. And maybe a couple of guys need to be able to come in and say, was my experience with everything else. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it takes to get a guy from 60% invested to 80% invested to 100% invested. It'll be interesting to see.
It is pretty crazy that the guys who opted out, it used to be if you're a first rounder and it's just a regular bowl game or New Year's Six bowl or whatever, as long as it's not a playoff game, you're a first rounder, you're in middle half of the first round, go ahead and opt out. Now it's like DeJuan Jones said the same thing about, I thought my playing career was over. And it's like, but where are you in the draft? Where's Ronnie Hickman in the draft? 4th, 5th round, something like that, where you don't have the Senior Bowl to play your way higher, and you're just going to base it off of the combine and what you've already done. And I guess we've reached the point now, and it's fine, that if you're deciding to leave for the NFL, then there's no reason to play in the bowl game. Just go get ready for the draft. And honestly, I think coaches don't mind that, because then the bowl game just becomes preparation for the next season. Like, I'm sure there was part of Kyle McCord, and when we get to talk to him, I'm going to ask him, like, after that Michigan loss and the days after it, once you stop being like devastated by it, now he gets to start thinking like, I'm going to be starting in the Rose Bowl, or I'm going to be starting in whatever bowl game like this.
Now he's not. Now he's not.
But that's fine. He's not supposed to have an impact in the playoff game necessarily. But guys will have this excitement that are going to be playing next year about playing in that bowl game or getting an opportunity. But so I think it's fine for players to leave, because there's always other players that want to play. It's funny to me that it has gone from first rounders to undrafted free agents. Basically, anybody can opt out as long as your eligibility, you've decided to give it up.